Hello, this is Matt from tracyandmatt.co.uk and from unboxings.com, here looking at the Nokia X7. We'll do a quick unboxing video for you before we go ahead and actually do the full review. So first of all, on top we have a SIM card from 3, and we have the handset itself, which we're going to come back to in just a moment. Underneath we have the accessories. So the first part is getting to know your X7, which covers basically like a getting started guide, and includes everything about charging and all that kind of stuff, inserting SIM card, etc. And then also we have a bit more of a detailed guide on the usage there, so that's more of a user manual, or a smaller user manual. We then have the charger, which UK 3 pin with a micro USB charge cable, captive cable on there. And then last of all, move these little bits out of the way, we have a small box with the other bits and pieces in it. So let's just empty that out. So we have a standard USB to micro USB sync charge cable, so it's white and Nokia branded. And then we have a wired headset, which has got the flat style cable. The reason Nokia use the flat cables is, well, it actually means that they're more tangle resistant, so you don't have to continuously untangle your headphone cables. So there's a 4-pole 3.5mm jack on one end. There's an inline microphone and control block here, which is pretty sophisticated. It has a clip to clip it onto clothing. So on the front here we have a play and pause and then skip backwards and forwards. Tiny hole there, which is the microphone. Then on the side we have an up and down volume control and a push button, which actually like a phone control, so you can use it to answer and hang up when you're on a call. And then right on the other end, obviously, we have the headphones themselves, which are the type that sort of push into your ear canal and have this sort of rubber bit around the side to actually isolate the noise. And then there are different size rubber earbuds there, depending on the size of your ear rolls. So let's take a look at the handset itself. I'm just going to have a quick rub on our t-shirt to clean the screen a bit, because apparently we aren't the first to actually see this particular one. So there we go. On the front we have a 4-inch display, which is 360 by 640 pixels. Large sort of loudspeaker area, or speaker area at the top there. Rather unique design. As you can see, the corners are clipped off like on the top and the bottom, with this sort of grill affair, which kind of makes it look like something that you'd expect to see in an Alien film. It's pretty cool, pretty different. And then actually the back there, this is the silver one with brush steel finish. There are other ones that you can actually get, the black one for sure, but the design is quite different for Nokia. It's a bit radical, certainly for them. It's more akin to something like you perhaps expect to see from Sony Ericsson in terms of the styling. It means that it does sit rather nicely in your hand. It's quite weighty though, actually. We'll come to that in a little while though. There's a button underneath, just a single push button, which is like your menu button. And then on the left hand side we have a cover here, which is a little bit more difficult to open. But basically there is a cover, which I absolutely can't open right now, cover over the micro SDHC memory card, which support up to 32 gig rather. Comes with an 8 gig in here. Then we also have cover over, there we go, the SIM card. So the SIM card pops inside. I think that was just out of frame there, so you push down on the side and then pull the whole thing out like so. And that's kind of cool mechanism there. And there we go, that's similar, I'm just pushing it the wrong way. At the top it's the same for the micro SDHC memory card. So it's a little bit of a unusual design there in terms of how that works, and just keeps it all kind of neat on that side anyway. Nothing really to see on the bottom. There's a little hole there, which is the microphone, and then up on the right hand side we have a dedicated camera button there, and then an up and down volume control. On the top is the power button, 3.5mm headphone socket for plugging in obviously the wired headset that comes with it, or indeed our own wired headphones. And then there is the micro USB for sync and charge. And then on the back we have an 8-megapixel autofocus camera with dual LED flash. The back doesn't remove, so there's it's not an easily usable replaceable battery. but so it's completely captive in there. The back cover doesn't come off, which is kind of I guess akin to sort of what Apple do with the iPhone. So if we just power up, and I'll run down the rest of the specification while I wait for that to come on. It is quad band for GSM and tri-band for HSDPA, so it'll work pretty much everywhere. In terms of size, it's 120mm from top to bottom, just under 63mm wide, and at the thickest point it's just a fraction under 12mm. It's 11.9mm. For the Nokia tune. In terms of weight, it's 146 grams. It does feel kind of weighty. I think the actual styling means that it just the way it sits in your hand makes it feel a little bit heavier than perhaps the raw numbers would suggest. The 360 by 640 display is AMOLED, so it's extremely clear and bright screen technology, as we've talked about countless times in the past. Specification in terms of processor is a 680 MHz ARM11 processor. There's 256 meg of RAM and 1 gig of ROM, and so we have an 8 gig memory card already in there, but it will support up to 32 gig. It's a Symbian Anna, it's the latest version Symbian Anna operating system on here as well. Built-in FM radio, GPS, Wi-Fi and all that kind of stuff is also here as well, including Bluetooth. The video recording on the from the camera, 8 megapixel camera on the back, is up to 720p video recording as well, so that's pretty cool. I don't have a Nokia account, so we're going to do that later, and we'll skip setting up of an OV account just for now. I'll just quickly take a look at the operating system, and there we go, we started up. So first of all at the top we have indicator telling me that the battery is extremely low, and the signal over on the other side as well. And this is our home screen. We have 3 home screens here set up at the bottom. As you can see, there are 3 little dots. So on this main home screen here, obviously have the time, and just go back, sorry, we have the time. We have, I think this is friends, like contacts. Yep, there we go. Then we have browser, OV store, which we'll just skip back out of, and navigation. I can add important contacts here. OV networks and connect your social networks here, so that's Twitter, Facebook and all that kind of stuff there can be there. Then we have an alert section in the middle, so we've got 3 alerts to do with, actually from 3 because of the SIM card in there, so that's basically messages that we've got. And below that we've got email, Google, 3 icons there, so that's relating to actually getting into 3 stuff. So that's 3 spot or 3 hotspot. Just close that, and then 3 favourites there on the other side. Swipe across. Each of the other home screens has like 6 sections or 6 bits that you can add stuff to. So we've got music here, we've got some applications, games, Paramount, so I guess that's video and film, National Geographic and phone setup. And on the other one we've got calendar, email, chat and wireless LAN. So we're actually going to go ahead and use that. We'll search for wireless LAN and we'll go ahead and connect to one. So we have a QWERTY keyboard that comes up like so. Kind of looks a bit, kind of similar to an Android keyboard, but I guess keyboards are much of a muchness really. We can use it in this orientation too, so that's your landscape keyboard as well. So let's go and put in our key. There we go, and we're all connected. It says that we're connected, and we've got a signal strength there in the corner, as you can see. Now you can add and remove these widgets here. So if you long hold here, you can actually see that it's got the items or the page laid out. So we can add something in here, and we've got a series of widgets. Not perhaps as many as you might find on an Android handset, but we've got some anyway. So we could put in the BBC iPlayer, for example, and that gets added into that section. And then we can click done, and that effectively makes that open in that place as a shortcut. But if we come back out of there, the great thing about the way this works is if we go into here, we can actually delete home screen, or we can add additional home screens as well. So if we delete this home screen like so, we go back to down to just 2. Oops, click done. Go back to down to just 2, so we can cycle between the 2, or we can do new home screen and add another one. We can add that one back in, add some widgets, BBC iPlayer up there, and then let's have mail there, and down the bottom, that's where we set mail, and down the bottom we'll have, let's put in wireless LAN wizard there. There we go, and then we click done. So we can add as many, well, I don't know what the limit is, but we can add additional home screens as we see fit. The main one obviously is this one here right at the front. Push the middle button, we get into sort of the full menu of all the stuff that we've got on here. So you've got music, photos, web. So we're going to take a quick look at the web browser, and we'll go to our site. Actually, the keyboard keys are kind of small for my fat fingers, and the haptic feedback, I don't know if you can actually hear it, but the motor inside is it's not quite as I don't know really what the word is, snappy or tight as you would perhaps like it to be. It's almost like it's almost kind of a double thing, a double vibrate from the haptic feedback every time you type a key. I think I'd probably want to turn that off actually. But so the page is loading, it's rendering pretty quickly. The colour, because it's AMOLED, is fantastic. So the brightness and the quality and saturation of colour here, certainly on the greens and oranges, is really good. That really does set AMOLED apart from any other screen technologies, to be honest with you. Even when you boost the colour on LCD or Super LCD, there's just something slightly lacking. AMOLED is definitely better. Obviously Super AMOLED and Super AMOLED Plus just take that to another level. But anyway, this is Super AMOLED, really good, really bright screen, 2-finger zooming, so we can fit the full page. Likewise, we can do rotate. There's a little slight delay there in the rotate, not quite as quick as perhaps you would expect, and scrolling is not quite as smooth as one might hope. Don't know whether that's a factor to do with the processor speed and amount of RAM, but it's not quite as snappy as one would expect. It's not quite as fluid, certainly when you do that. So you zoom out and you zoom back in. There is a slight delay there each time. Anyway, the browser works reasonably well, as you pretty much expect it to. Nothing terribly unusual. We've got the store there, videos, and TV settings. So we go to the main settings menu and change the profiles and connectivity and application settings, etc. Full list of applications down the side here. So we've got a VLingo voice, which is like a voice control and dictation. 3-spot. Got Foursquare pre-installed. BBC iPlayer, which we quickly looked at there. DAB radio. And Google. There isn't. Doesn't appear to be. It doesn't appear to be a YouTube client. Let's take a look at BBC iPlayer anyway. Let's go via the web. So it's actually opening that up in the web browser, so it's effectively like a shortcut. So let's take a look at one of these. I think just the top one. There we go. It's buffering. Click play. Buffer time is kind of long actually. There we go. Tap to play full screen. Should be. There we go. No, it doesn't want to play full screen. Oh well, we'll come back out there, but you get the idea. It took a little while to buffer. Don't know if that's a factor of the connectivity that we got here. I'm using broadband. It's normally reasonably good, or something else, but Ashford 5 is included, so that's already on here from Gameloft. Let's just see if that will run for us. Loading reasonably quickly. English. There we go, and we're just going to do a quick race. and let's see how it performs. Bear in mind this is, I'm just showing off one of the aspects of the phone, not judging me here on my driving skills or playing game skills. Taking a little while to load. There we go. So that's loaded. Really, in terms of the frame speed there, let's go actually into something.
3, 2, 1, go!
Okay, so it's not as smooth as I really would like it to be. I don't know if you can really pick up the, bearing in mind that this is going to be encoded on YouTube and through my video editing as well. But I don't know what the actual frame rate is here, but it's certainly not 30 frames a second. It's more like 15, I would say. So it's not that smooth. I mean, the gameplay is okay when you get used to it. But I guess, again, it's possibly somewhat limited in the processor speed there. In terms of the other stuff on here, say there are quite a few other applications that we can that are pre-installed, and obviously we can download others through the OV store. We've got a video editor and photo editor and all that kind of stuff. We'll just take a quick look at the camera actually. So we'll just use the box as a sample. I wonder if when we push the button on the side, does that bring up the camera? Yep, there we go. So in terms of, we've got the button on the side for actually taking the photo, so if we just, wow, that was a very, very quick capture. That's very fast. Video, the actual capture there is extremely quick, and the quality isn't bad considering I'm just taking a picture of the box, but the quality is pretty good. If we were to actually go and play with that now, we can actually open that and we can do editing of that, so we can draw on it, we can rotate it, we can add different effects. So we can actually mess around with the colour style and other bits and pieces, but the speed of which it actually took the photograph is very, very impressive indeed. So there we go. So that's just a really very quick look at the Nokia X7. We'll have a full review for you over the next couple of weeks. I'll be getting into this. I'm not too familiar with Symbian. May perhaps have been a little bit obvious with doing what I've done here. I haven't used Symbian a great deal recently, so I'll be getting into this and sort of really getting my teeth into it. I'm quite looking forward to actually playing around with it. So I'll have a review for you over the next couple of weeks. In the meantime, if you want to follow us on Twitter, it's twitter.com/TracyandMatt or facebook.com/TracyandMatt.co.uk. Please do get in touch, do follow us, and ask us any questions about this or any other handsets that we're looking at the moment. I'll be back soon though with some more videos and reviews on TracyandMatt.co.uk. But for now, thanks for watching.
Bitdefender is dedicated to protecting people's digital lives, so working with Unboxings.com to help preview and review the latest technology is a perfect fit.